Have you ever seen that movie, Idiocracy?
Oh, yeah. Hilarious.
It's definitely a funny movie.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes you think, like, what if intelligence, what if, like, being smart isn't the thing that, like, helps you succeed in the future?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Yeah.
So today, we're going to be diving into that idea, looking at how intelligence and evolution could play out maybe in a not-so-distant future.
Right.
We'll even try and tie it back to our community here in Southeast Houston, Deer Park, LaPorte, Pasadena, all those spots.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to take a look at, we'll start with Idiocracy. We're going to look at that.
Okay.
And see what it has to say about the future of intelligence.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So one of the things that's super interesting about Idiocracy is how it pokes fun at our understanding of, natural selection.
Right.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
All that. We always think of the best adapted, the strongest, the fastest, or even the smartest.
Right.
They're the ones that pass on their genes.
Exactly.
But Idiocracy kind of flips that idea on its head.
Yeah, it does.
And it suggests that maybe intelligence isn't the winning trait anymore.
It's definitely making a statement. Yeah.
That's a very bold statement.
Yeah.
So there's this scene in the movie, the main character, he's like in this hospital, and the doctor's trying to explain to him why everyone seems so, well, not so bright,
Yeah, I remember that.
And the doctor says, evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. It simply rewards those who reproduce the most.
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a funny line, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, is there any truth to that?
Right.
Like, are there really things in the world that are actually favoring, other traits over intelligence, like having more kids or something?
Well, I mean, I think it's important to keep in mind that Idiocracy is a comedy,
Right.
It's a satire.
Right.
It's definitely meant to exaggerate.
Right.
But it does bring up some interesting questions.
It does, yeah.
Natural selection is definitely way more complicated than just like who has the most kids, right?
Right.
It's about a lot of things. It's about survival. It's about adaptation to your surroundings, your environment.
Right.
And those things are constantly changing.
Right, yeah.
You think about it, like intelligence, that probably was a huge advantage, way back when.
Yeah.
Helped our ancestors survive some crazy stuff.
Totally, yeah.
But what about now,
Like, things have changed a lot. I mean, we're surrounded by technology.
Yeah.
And information's coming at us from all these different directions.
Yeah, social media, algorithms.
All this stuff, yeah.
Things are moving so fast.
So fast, yeah.
It makes you wonder if there are other skills, that are becoming more useful, more valuable in this crazy world.
Totally, yeah. Like, maybe instead of just being smart, maybe it's more about, like, being adaptable or being able to like, process a ton of information really quickly.
Yeah.
Or even just like you were saying, marketing yourself online,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Being able to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Could that be the new, like, survival skill?
Could be.
So if those are the things that are becoming more important, then what does that mean for societies that value, like, critical thinking or education or people who are curious and like to learn?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
We hear a lot about anti-intellectualism these days. This idea that, knowledge and expertise are somehow, like, suspicious.
Right.
Or even something to look down on.
Yeah.
You see it in a lot of ways, like the distrust of experts, the spread of misinformation, the way we fund education sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
It's definitely out there.
It makes you think, like, are we seeing this play out, like, in our own community?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's happening here in Deer Park, LaPorte, Pasadena?
It's interesting because, we have amazing resources in our area. We've got San Jacinto College, libraries all over the place.
Yeah.
We've got tons of community organizations that are dedicated to education and people growing, developing themselves.
Oh, yeah.
But we've also got, we've got challenges too.
Right.
How do we make sure that everybody has access to those resources?
Right.
How do we fight back against misinformation?
Yeah.
How do we make sure that our community really values and supports people, learning and being curious and wanting to improve themselves?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the question.
And it seems like Think and Act Locally is trying to, like, address some of these challenges.
Yeah.
Like, their whole mission is to empower, people here in our community to improve their lives.
Right.
Improve our community.
Exactly.
And that really ties into like what we're talking about, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It does, because, they're providing like actionable information. They're connecting people with the resources that are available.
Yeah.
And they're encouraging people to get involved, to participate in our community.
Right. They're really trying to build a culture of learning and action right here.
Right here, yeah.
In Southeast Houston.
And that's something we can all support.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you've been enjoying this deep dive and you want to help support those efforts, you should check out thinkandactlocally.com/donate.
That's a good idea.
They have all the details on how you can help, how you can contribute.
Yeah, that's great.
So as you go about your day today, I want you to think about something.
Okay.
Think about this.
All right.
If we could design the future of our community, what would we put first?
Oh.
Like what traits, what skills, what values, what we want to see in ourselves
Yeah.
in the next generation?
Right.
To build a thriving and intelligent and engaged community right here
That's a good
in our little corner of the world.
Yeah.
What would we choose?
I don't know. It's something to think about.
It is, yeah. Something to think about.